Good day, people of the internet. Today, I'm going to give you a small tour of Lion's Arch. I'm not going to be going over landmarks or anything. Well, a bit of landmarks, but I'm mainly going over the services of Lion's Arch since we've seen so many changes to Lion's Arch. I just want to show you where certain services are. So, starting right here at the entrance to Lion's Arch, right behind me is the portal to Gendaran Field. And if you're the first time you come into Lion's Arch, you'll start right here. Next up is the Mystic Forge. It's just a short skip from the portal. And now, it's small enough that we can jump into the Mystic... Moving on to the next item. Here is the bank at the Giant Squid. Right next to the bank is the vaults. This is the new Black Lion headquarters. And within the vaults, as you can see on the minimap, there's a bunch of weapon icons. This is the new place where you can get your Black Lion weapons, so like the scientific weapons and such. But you can still get them at vendors at a Black Lion, at the trading post vendors. Over here is the Mystic Plaza. Mystic Plaza? No. Lion's Court, which is in the Grand Piazza. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I'm actually excited to see what will happen with this, since Halloween is going to stay in Lion's Arch and we've got all of this stuff. I'm excited to see what's going to happen with this for Halloween. Winter's Day is going to Divinity's Reach, so it'll still be interesting to see what they do with that. Over here in this conch shell, or snail shell, or whatever, I think it's a conch shell, are the trading post vendors. And also Black Lion Weapon Specialist. He actually has all the weapons, and that's something to note about the vault. Each of these are a single different kind of weapon, so like, this one right here is going to be a scientific, this one might be a Balthazar weapon, and when a new weapon set comes out, or even the old ones right now, do check with both the single vendors and then the vendors with multiples. Check with both of them and see which one's cheaper, because the scientific ones at these weapon specialists is 3, but in the vault, it's still 1 ticket. Over here is the Starfish. Yes, Starfish, and underneath it is all of our crafting areas. So these are the old forges and items we had back in the original Lion's Arch before it got destroyed by Scarlet Briar. So these are back underneath the Starfish. This is the Commodores Quarter. It's kind of the residential looking area. Oh, and over here is kind of all the collectors and various vendors like that. We have the spoon collector here. We have a laurel merchant. In this little alleyway over here, by the waypoint, is the birthday vendor. And then a new kind of collector, but an achievement person, is this guy, Turl Sharptooth. This is where you start the Karka scavenger hunt in Lion's Arch. There's a Karka on this wall right here. I've already done the achievements, but it's there. And briefly talking about that achievement, to talk about this achievement to get the Karka, you have to find 50 Karka in Lion's Arch, and it gives you a small Karka that consumes your Dragonite ore. And you can either look on YouTube or wherever you want to find out where all these Karka are, or if you want to actually explore Lion's Arch, which I do recommend, each of these crabs you highlight over is a different crab, and it gives a small hint of where it could be. So like, take a close look at the salty pirate merchant stash. Why did I have to highlight that one? So then you have to go find the salty pirate merchant stash and then kill the Karka there. And then you have to pick up a rifle from this guy to go kill the Karka. Some of the Karka are a little hard to do, well, a little hard to kill, but you can get them eventually, and if you look at videos, those can also help to see what angles you have to actually shoot at. Over here behind, well, in one of the alleyway areas of the Commodores Quarter, we have the Festival Merchant. He has all of our stuff for things as Dragon Bash, Halloween, some other things. Queen's Jubilee. Ooh, we haven't had that yet. That might be coming soon, maybe. Let's hope. And then also probably Winter's Days in here as well somewhere. Traveling a little eastward of the Grand Piazza is the Eastern Ward. This is where all the Zurin gates to various parts of the world are. We actually have one for each capital, as well as another one for South Sun. And I think this is a new feature if you actually go to your minimap, or the big map, and hover over these portals, you can actually see where they go. So like this one takes you to the Grove, this one to South Sun. And this is the Guild Initiative. So currently the building is closed and we can't get in it. But we should be able to get in it by the time Heart of Thorns comes out. We might be able to a little before that, but not for certain on that. But beside that, oh, I should show you where it is. It's just eastward of the Eastern Ward. And this is where all the guild stuff is. The Guild Banker, Guild Register, Guild Armor Smiths, Accommodation Vendor, all that is right here. Now, traveling a little southeast of the Guild Initiative, we have the Cavern Waypoint. This is a new-ish kind of area. This allows us to actually walk into Lorinar's Pass, right next to the German Priory. I think it exits like right there. Fort Mariner has become the area where the Aerodrome is, Aerodome, and all the mist portals. So as soon as you waypoint in here, first portal you see is the Heart of the Mist, the structured PvP portal. Moving along here, you can see the Fractals portal right here in the center. And then all the World vs. World portals are bordering it. And then they are colored and labeled accordingly. And then Commander Trainers is right over here. He's right behind the Fractal portal. Now, a very important merchant in Lion's Arch, well, merchants have been consolidated into this one merchant right here. The Dungeon Armor and Weapon Merchant. Now, previously we would have had about 8 merchants out at one time, but now it's all down into one merchant. So you can look at the armor from different dungeons, look at weapons and whatnot. But this merchant, I don't know when he switches over, but currently he is dressed up as the Crucible of Eternity vendor, and eventually he will be swapped out for another dungeon vendor, and they swap out every so often. I don't know what the timer is on that. So he's here in Fort Mariner, or she, depending on the merchant. Another exit from Lion's Arch is over here at the Blood Coast Ward waypoint. It's just right outside of the Fort Mariner area, just a little way south, and that takes you into Bloodtide Coast, right over there. Now, talking about the jumping puzzles briefly, all the jumping puzzles have remained intact and untouched, except for the one jumping puzzle, Troll's End. That one, with the huge renovations that have come to the city, has been destroyed. So, that jumping puzzle no longer is in-game, but it has been replaced by a new jumping puzzle, Troll's Revenge. It is a huge jumping puzzle that spans a large amount of Lion's Arch. I'm not going to show you the entrance. You can look at the achievement panel and just find it that way. Otherwise, just go explore and find it yourself. So I hope you found the video to be informative in some way. And I didn't show you all the places to explore. There are a plethora of other places to explore, more NPCs to talk to, new dialogue in-game. And I had another thing on the top of my head, but I just forgot it. Just go explore Lion's Arch. There's so much to do. Oh, merchants. There are merchants I haven't even looked at that are out there. I know there's an ecto gambling merchant somewhere in Lion's Arch that I have not even touched yet. But otherwise, explore! Explore! Until then, hit like, comment, subscribe. Hit me up on the Twitters and the comment section below, and have a day. Now to go get that other point that I forgot about.